Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really hope all of you are doing well in these unreal times. As you all know, today's webinar is about understanding your visitor behavior using heat maps. I'm Pavitra Radishekaran, content marketer for Zoho PageSense, and today I have with me Vignesh Prakash, our business development lead. We will be your presenters for today, and without further ado, let's get started. The agenda for today goes like this. Why you should understand visitor behavior, what is a heat map, what can it do for your business, types of heat maps in PageSense, and then Vignesh will give you a comprehensive walkthrough of Zoho PageSense's heat map feature. And finally, we'll have the Q&A session. So if you have any questions during the course of the webinar, you can just send it to us and we'll take them up at the end of the session. So let's talk about visitor behavior. Visitor behavior forms the core of any optimization program. Simply put, it's just how your visitors interact with the various elements on your website. That is, the parts that instantly grab their attention and the parts that maybe distract them. In fact, back then, there was this time when the success of a website was gauged solely by the number of visits it got. That is, if a website had many visitors, it was deemed as a successful website. I know, right? This sounds really primitive now because times have changed so much and we've all come a long, long way. Because today, there are so many different kinds of tools that can be used to analyze visitor behavior, like heat maps, session recording, website surveys, form analytics, funnel analytics, and so many other tools. But of all these tools, heat maps, for some reason, have always been the most sought after ones. Also, with the current pandemic outbreak, sales and marketing has gone for a complete toss. In fact, visitor behavior itself is rapidly changing, and I think now is a very crucial time to get to know visitors more and to learn what they're inclined towards and what they're looking for in your website. And with all of this insight, maybe you can tweak your website a little more to resonate with your visitors' requirements. So in marketing, just like in life, we tend to make a lot of assumptions. Assumptions that can go right or can sometimes backfire. Just like the marketer in this image who's shooting arrows with a blindfold on. So there's this one thing you can do. Stop the guesswork right there and start understanding your visitors' behavior and realigning your website goals to suit their needs. Because now is the time to take advantage of your visitors' behavior and turn them into customers. So now let's delve into the hero of our webinar, heat maps. What is a heat map? If you'd want to go by the textbook definition, a heat map is a graphical representation of behavioral data that uses color coding to represent values. But what really is a heat map? Heat maps have been used in digital marketing for a really long time now. And basically, what they do is that they allow you to see what your visitors are focusing on in your web page. They give you a clear picture of where your visitors have their main intent and what they like or what they dislike. All of this is depicted using a warm to cool color spectrum. And if that doesn't align with where you want them to focus or is really different from the plan of action that you had in mind, then you can maybe use these insights from these heat maps to modify your page. So you can maybe put up a different image in a different place or a button in a different position or play around with the content of the page. All of this, of course, with the intent of getting more conversions. So now let's talk about some real-life examples of heat maps. Heat maps are super versatile, and that's the reason why they have a wide range of application possibilities. And that is why maybe more and more industries are choosing heat maps over other tools. So if you ask me, are heat maps a new concept? Then definitely not. Even as a child, if you had a grandfather who was always glued to the news channel, just like mine, then you probably grew up watching heat maps every day. Remember the red, green, orange patterns that made no sense back then? They were the weather report forecast heat maps that were probably indicating the intensity of a storm at a different location. Similarly, what if I told you heat maps could play a role even in your everyday decisions? So let's say you step into your neighborhood convenience store. Do you think the positioning of all the products in the shelves are random or perhaps accidental? Not at all. They have been deeply studied. So take a look at this heat map here from a supermarket. Thanks to this experiment, you will notice that all the inexpensive products are on the bottom shelf and the expensive ones, probably the ones you don't even need, are on the top. So maybe next time you walk into your nearest store, you'll probably keep this in mind and go straight for the bottom shelves. Heat maps are even used in sports. Specifically for football, heat maps are an indicator of effectiveness of a player in different parts of the pitch. So the map gets heated up as the player's presence in a particular area increases. And finally, here's one we all can relate to, given the current world scenario, of course. The World Health Organization released this heat map mapping the spread of COVID outbreak around the world. Here, as you can see, the darker the shade, higher the intensity of the outbreak. So, with all of these examples, we've only barely scraped through the capabilities of heat maps and the pain points that they can solve, because there's so much more that heat maps can do for you. So let's talk about the benefits of heat maps. What can heat maps do for your business? Heat maps help you redesign your website. Even the thought of redesigning your website can give you sleepless nights. And that's why it's really important to gather insight from your current website. Heat maps will clearly show you what has worked with your audience in the past, so far, and what hasn't. So keeping this in mind, you can choose the right layout and the perfect design for your website. Heat maps will help you pick a single goal. Sometimes we tend to confuse our visitors by putting in more than one call to action on the same page. For example, you might have announced a summer sale, followed by a checkout collection button, followed by a discount coupon. All of this on the same page, so it's natural for your visitors to be confused. But using heat maps, you can zero down the CTA that gets the maximum attention from your visitors and make it your main goal. Next, you can remove distractions with heat maps. To click or not to click? Sometimes when it comes to your website, this could be $1 million question. Many times your heat maps will show you that your visitors are clicking on a particular element over and over again. And that's when you realize that that particular element isn't even a link or a button. And that will probably give you an idea like, oh, maybe I should make that a link, or maybe I should turn that into a button. So this piece of information here can be a game changer, as it helps you remove unnecessary elements and directs your visitors to the right places. And finally, heat maps improve your user experience. All of these benefits that we spoke about so far will ultimately add up to a good user experience. But if you want to make your visitors a little more happy, then you can use heat maps and figure out how your visitors navigate from one page to another. This way, if there are any breaks in the UI, you can find them and fix them then and there. So now let's talk about the types of heat maps in PageSense. There are different kinds of heat maps. The first one being the generic click map that tracks the activity, hotspots, and clicks. Next, we have the scroll map. So a scroll map will show you how far down your visitors are scrolling and which fold gets the most attention. With scroll maps, you can identify any false bottoms on your page. So a visitor might come to your blog and read the complete write-up before taking an action. Or on the other hand, another visitor might come to your home page and leave without even crossing the first fold. So scroll maps help you spot the fold that gets the maximum traction, so you can move your important elements to that fold and give them more visibility. You can even go one step further and run an A/B test for these elements. And then you have the attention map. The attention map will highlight the areas of your web page where your visitors spend the most time. So imagine you have a visitor who has landed on your contact page and spends more than 10 minutes there. This might be because an important contact detail might be missing, or the message might not be very clear. When you see more visitors doing this, you know that there's some problem that you need to fix. So you can go ahead and add what's important. So PageSense gives you a package of all of these 3 heat maps so that you stay well informed about your visitors' behavior and optimize your website accordingly. So now, Vignesh will give you a complete walkthrough of heat maps in PageSense. Over to you, Vignesh, all yours.
Thanks, Pavitra. I would like to welcome you all for today's session. So I'm Vignesh, and I'll be walking you through the heat maps feature in PageSense today. So before we get into the heat maps feature, I would like to give you the brief about the features and the modules that we have in Zoho PageSense. With PageSense, we have 5 different modules that track and analyze part with features like goals, funnel analysis, and heat map, font analytics, and session recording. So based on the data that we get from these couple of modules, so we do the optimizing part like A/B testing and split URL testing. Then also we have the personalize and engage part, which helps you to do personalize helps you to do like a custom content or custom web pages for your specific set of user audience and user segmentation. Then you would also be able to engage them using the polls, push notifications, and pop-ups feature in PageSense. Now, going about the heat map feature, you would be able to create any number of heat maps for in PageSense. So you can completely create one set, a whole heat map for the entire website, or you would be able to do for each and every specific pages as well. You would be able to filter these by modes that they are in, either they're currently running, paused, or draft, or scheduled, or you would also be able to filter them based on the following methods to take the fetch the data for later purposes. Now, so for creating a new heat map, so let's assume we have a website here today. This is our demo website. So let's try to create heat maps today for all the product pages that we have in this product. So let's take this URL and let's give a name for this heat map. And then in the experiment page URL, you can directly give the URL, or in the advanced features. So as we are going to track the multiple URLs of the product pages. So we have 6 different types of URL match types that we have in PageSense. A simple URL match and exact URL match helps you to track one single website, one single web page in your website. Then we also have the pattern match, which helps you to do a collective URL sets that are of a similar pattern. For example, so you can to track all the data from a similar pattern, you can use the following methods. Then we also have the regex match, which helps you to track the dynamic URLs. And for example, if you want to track all the web pages that contains PageSense or probably your website name, you can do that using the contains, starts with, or ends with. Then for the preview purposes, you can give one specific web page that is being displayed, and you would be able to view the data for that and everything. And once you activate everything, we start tracking the data. And in the reports part, so if you're doing it for all the web pages of your website, the URLs would be listed as follows. And based on the visits and the click per visit, you would be able to filter them. When it comes to the data part, so we show you, so this is the heat maps page that you would be landing onto when you look into the reports for each and every pages. So here we have the heat map, the score map, the attention map. And in the heat map, so you would be able to see the visitors, the unique visitors that have visited this web page, and the engaged visitors. So those who have made a single click even on any element, so they are considered as engaged visitors. So we give you the percentage of that. And the visits, so how many times they have visited, and the number of clicks that has happened across your web page, and the visit per click ratio. So for each and every element, you would be able to see how many interactions have happened and how many clicks have been done. So this is also known as the click heat map. Click map. So this helps you to understand how many people have clicked and what are the elements that they have interacted with and where exactly are the users focusing the data on and everything. So let's say for an example, you run a SaaS business or an e-commerce business. So in this segment, you would be able to understand which are the products that your visitors are interested with or which are the features that they are interested in and everything. So this could help you to enhance the content on your website, and you can help you with the conversion as well. So the best part about Zoho PageSense is that, so we also give track the dynamic elements in the heat map as well. So let's say like you have a drop-down menu, or if you have a carousel menu or anything, so you would be able to track the data for that as well. Then we have the scroll map. So in the scroll map, you would, every website is being made into multiple folds. So the first fold is wherein like the visitor lands down into. So you have 100% of visitors who would be like visiting this page. Then as you go down, you would be able to understand how much percentage of the people actually scroll down your website, and you would be able to see if the content or the data that is being down on your website is relevant enough for your users to keep scrolling down. So here you might have, just take an example of this website wherein like you have listed all the sale products and everything, but as you keep scrolling down, the visit percentage has reduced. So this gives us an inference that you might have to change probably the homepage image, or probably like you might have to reduce the size and probably move up the spring scale much upper, so that your visitors might be interested in moving up and everything. So then we also have the attention map. So in the attention map, apart from it showing you the visit percentage, it also gives you the average time spent at each fold of your website. So this, for example, this might help you to understand like how many percentage of the users are interested in the content that is present at each and every fold. And say you have blogs running or probably any video content that is running on your website. So you would be able to understand how much percentage of the content was being consumed by your users and everything. So the heat map, we also show you for the desktop view, the tablet view, and the mobile view. On the mobile perspective, so you would be able to see how the users have interacted and everything on a mobile view as well. And then apart from this, we also have the segmentation part on the date wise, wherein like you can see the data for specific day, or you can do it for a custom range as well, or like any given predefined sets. And then we also have the consolidated heat map for the consolidated heat map. Let's assume that you have a specific layout of web pages for all your website. And here you would be able to see the consolidated data of interaction that happens on the layout. So let's assume that you have a sign up button across all the web pages of your website, and you would be able to get the consolidated data on how many number of clicks that have happened on the sign up button or on any of the features that is listed on the menu bar. So this gives you the data about that. Then we also have the segment part. So if in case you would want to like reconfigure or like pause the experiment, you can do that using here. And then we also have the segmentation part in the heat maps. So in the segment part, we have the smart filters, which helps you to like filter the data according to the following methods. So we have the visitor type, wherein like you can tag your users based on the new or returning visitors. Then we have the source type, either if they're direct visitors or they come through a referral traffic or organic search and social traffic, paid campaigns, etc. Then you would also be able to do country wise, and you would also be able to do it by browser wise and operating OS. And the best part is that you would, if you're running an e-commerce website, and you would be able to see like which day of the week or hour of the day that you are having maximum conversions and everything, and how those specific users are interacting with your website and everything. So this is about the smart segmentation. You can choose the multiple segmentations here, and you can segment the data and save it and view the data for later purposes. Then we have the advanced segmentation. Apart from the few of the features in the smart segmentation, we also have like referral URLs, query parameters, which helps you to track, say for example, in case of a referral URL, you might be running third-party blogs, or you might have had marketing campaigns with other websites and everything. So you would be able to track how those users are behaving on your website. And for query parameters, if you're using Google Analytics and you have you're using a query parameter for specific campaigns, you would be able to track how the users have behaved from the specific marketing campaign. And source basis, you would be able to break them. You would be able to break them on the source they are coming from, and the location you can break it down to the city level, and browsers, operating system, and day of the hour and hour of the day of the week and hour of the day. Apart from this, we would also be able to see like users activity based on the user and the visitor activity. So here, so say once your user signs up to your website, you can segment the custom audience here, and you would be able to do that based on the custom JS that we have, and you would be able to track that specific data. And then you would be able to do this based on the visitor activity as well. Say you have a customer who has signed up and he has performed a specific action that can be configured as goal, and you would be or any call to action button, and you can segment these audience separately, and you can see their behavior on your website. And the use cases that we could also help you with is that in case of any sales, I mean like your forms, or you have any forms and you want to see the interaction that's happening on each and every field, heat maps help you to do that as well. So now that's about Zoho PageSense and its heat map. And if you have any questions, please let us know.
Thank you so much, Vignesh. Now we'll be taking up questions. So if you guys have any questions, ask away. So we have a couple of questions. Courtney asks, can you use regex on the URL matching?
Yes, that's definitely possible. So regex can be used for dynamic URLs, and I can share the document for that as well here.
Our next, does heat map make the website slow in loading?
No. So like to integrate PageSense with your website, you need to add the code snippet that's given here, and we have tested this over a period of time, and it is promising that it does not slow your website anytime.
We have another question. When should the screen recording function be used?
That's again a good question. So actually, so most of the cases, let's assume on a sales perspective, and so me being from a sales perspective background, so if in case like you would like to understand how the user has used your website and what are the features that he's been interested in, and you want to see his complete flow on the website and everything, you can use screen recording feature to track the data and everything to analyze. And apart from this, if you want to improvise on the UI UX and see how users are traversing between the web pages, and you want to see like how the flow is and the load time is and everything, so on that perspective as well, you can use session recording to do that.
And we have a couple of more questions. So if page elements or structure are changed or moved, that is the navigation menu is changed or the button is moved, will the heat maps appear?
So actually, Zoho PageSense loads the heat maps on a real-time basis. So we have the dynamic content running on the backside. So any layout or anything that has been changed, so we recommend you to start a separate new experiment to start tracking the data. So like if you're having the same layout, it doesn't matter because we still show the older data as well. But if you're changing the layout, in that case, we would recommend you to run a new experiment for that. So the heat map data does not appear off or anything. So you still have the data stored with us.
So I guess that's about it. I think we can wrap up. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have many more interesting webinars lined up in the coming weeks. So make sure you sign up for that as well. And if you have any questions, write to us at support@zohopagesense.com. You can also connect with us through social media. We're pretty active on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.